For instance, the anti-gun crowd is already springing out of the woodwork. But to say that this tragedy was caused by the availability of guns simplistically fails to recognize the real source of the problem. There's never been a gun made that killed anyone. It's the person wielding the weapon who kills. If that's not true, we'd better forbid the use of automobiles. Far more people are killed in auto accidents than are killed with guns. And yet, therein the problem is illustrated. Automobiles don't kill people. It's the person who drives the automobile that kills people. One issue that is almost always overlooked in the discussion of gun violence is the complete removal of biblical morals and ethics from America's public life, especially our schools. This has left young minds vulnerable to the endless flood of violence, particularly the violence that comes in computer games that facilitate, inspire, and train them to kill great numbers of people with efficiency, but without remorse. It's done with computer simulation. Some say there's no correlation between these games and the act of murder. However, there have been connections established with some of those who have killed in the most calloused and ruthless manner. If a mind is continually imprinted with the acting out of bloody, ruthless killings, the lines between make-believe and reality become blurred. And though moral judgment is blurred, physical skill is sharpened. Just think for a moment. Muhammad Atta and the other terrorists in 9/11 had never actually flown a Boeing 767. They were taught the basics of flying in a smaller aircraft, but they learned how to operate the instruments and controls of a 767 through computer simulators. In the same way, many of the computer games played for hours on end by some young people teach the tactics and reflexive skills needed for killing large numbers of people. These games are much worse than the violent movies and TV series that feature violence. At least they have a script that attaches some semblance of rationale for why the killings are taking place. But the violent computer games bring no ethics or morals into the equation. You win by blowing apart in bloody gun battles as many people as possible. Normal human sensitivities and compassion are dulled over time by this simulation. This is especially true in the case of disturbed and alienated young minds that have not been taught any concept of parental discipline, love, and biblical morality. It's the amoral mind of people that causes death by guns, knives, clubs, or whatever else can be used in a lethal way. And Rush Limbaugh, I think, really said something that's apropos here. He said the two worst tragedies in American history on this soil was committed with box knives and with fertilizer. In other words, it's not the inanimate weapon that makes the decision to kill. So removing guns from law-abiding citizens is not the answer. It only leaves them defenseless before the criminals that in any case will manage to obtain guns. History repeatedly proves this point. Listen to this statement and ask yourself, who made it? This year will go down in history. For the first time, a civilized nation has full gun registration. The street will be safer, the police more efficient, and the world will follow our lead into the future. Who made that statement? Adolf Hitler on April 15, 1935. History offers other examples of what can happen when citizens are stripped of the means to defend themselves. The Turkish Ottoman Empire established gun control in 1911. It then proceeded to exterminate 1.5 million Armenians from 1914 to 1917. The Soviet Union established gun control in 1929. Subsequently, from 1928 through 1953, 60 million dissidents were imprisoned and then exterminated. China enacted gun control laws in 1935. After the communists took over between 1948 and 1952, 20 million Chinese, unable to defend themselves, were murdered. Nazi Germany fully established gun control by 1938. That helped the government to round up 13 million defenseless Jews, gypsies, homosexuals, mentally ill, and impaired human beings. Many were imprisoned in concentration camps, then destroyed. Guatemala passed gun control laws in 1964. Then between 1964 to 1981, 100,000 defenseless Mayan Indians were exterminated. Uganda established gun control measures in 1970. Predictably, from 1971 to 1979, 300,000 defenseless Christians met a similar fate. Cambodia established gun control measures in 1956. Subsequently, from 1957 to 1977, 1 million Cambodians met their death. You know, our founding fathers had good reason to include in the Constitution the right for each citizen to bear arms. They came to this country with vivid memories of what an all-powerful government could do to its defenseless citizens. In our country, the following evidence clearly demonstrates the impact upon criminals that armed citizens have. Vermont has a genuine right to carry law. That means no permit is required to carry a gun. Yet Vermont boasts the lowest crime rate in the nation. Nationwide in the USA, concealed carry laws have resulted in a drop in crime rates. A comprehensive national study in 1996 determined that violent crime fell after states made it legal to carry concealed firearms. The results of the study show that states which passed concealed carry laws reduced their murder rate by 8.5%, rapes by 5%, aggravated assaults by 7%, and robbery by 3%. By extrapolation, if the other states which do not have concealed carry laws had adopted such laws in 1992, then approximately 1,570 murders, 4,177 rapes, 60,000 aggravated assaults, and 12,000 robberies would have been avoided yearly. So let's deal with the real problem by seeking to reform the minds of our citizens with biblical morality and ethics. The Apostle Paul, writing in 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 5, said, "But know this, that in the last days perilous times will come. For men will be lovers of themselves, lovers of money, boasters, proud, blasphemers, disobedient to parents, unthankful, unholy, unloving, unforgiving, slanderers, without self-control, brutal, despisers of good, traitors, headstrong, haughty, lovers of pleasure rather than lovers of good, having a form of godliness but denying its power. From such people, turn away." All of the above things happen when God is removed from public life, and morality and absolute ethics that come from Him are taken away. I believe we better look there and start trying to change that. God bless you. Next week, I'll see you again, God willing.